Today we have the 2023 GR Corolla, and let me tell you, Toyota nailed this hot hatch. It's distinctly different than the regular Corolla. It's a manual transmission, it's all-wheel drive, it looks cool, and it's really fun to drive. In this video, we're gonna take a look at the exterior, the interior, get it out on the road for a test drive. Let's get started. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the exterior details. Now, the appearance is a lot different than the regular Corolla hatch, as you're gonna see here. But first of all, let's talk about the different trims. You've got the GR Core, which is the base model that we have here, the Circuit, and the top-end Merizo, which is actually just a two-seater. So some things that stand out here, we've got wide front and rear fender flares. You've got gloss black fender vents. Things are going to be a little bit different, like gloss or matte, depending on the trim level. You're going to get a matte black grille, GR badging. The upper trims will give you a hood bulge as well. But we're going to get LED headlights, LED fog lights, and an LED daytime running light right here, and even some little vents next to those tires. I think this front end looks pretty sharp, as well as the side body, and the fact that we have rocker panels on the side too, which you'll see a little bit more in a second. Plus, you've got these 18-inch wheels right here. They are gloss black. You'll get different wheels on that top trim. With these wheels, you're gonna get large brakes. You can see just how big everything is in there. Plus, you've got these red brake calipers. Now, taking a look at this paint, this is the Supersonic Red. I think it is really sharp on this Corolla, especially with the gloss and matte black things like the black mirror, the black fender flare there. And then we've got a plain roof on this one, but you'll get a forged carbon fiber roof on the upper trims. This, in terms of length, is 173.6 inches long, so it is very small, very compact and tossable, fairly lightweight as well, and it comes standard with all-wheel drive, which is an absolute game changer for me. Just look at the bulge right here from this rear fender. That is crazy. Plus, down on the rocker panel, it says GR4. That is because of the dial inside that I'll talk about in a little bit. It's also got a Sport Tune suspension standard, otherwise a track suspension on that top-end Merizo model. And you can even get a Torsen limited slip differential optional on this model. You're also going to get LED taillights right here. You don't get an LED turn signal, but the taillight itself is LED. You got GR branding back there and a triple exhaust. Now let's take a look at the cargo area. It is tucked down right up under here. It pretty much pops itself up. It's very easy to get up. You've got a couple of grab handles, one on each side. And this space isn't bad. It's 17.8 cubic feet. It's not great, but it'll work for a sporty little hatch like this. Then you've got some storage space on both sides. You've got some physical tie downs here. The only thing is I don't see any hooks for, slinging a bag or grocery bags or anything like that. But you also have a light back here. And then underneath of this floor, you get extra storage sectioned off, and you get a tire repair kit. There's your battery. So no spare tire, but you get a tire repair kit. Now, because the Merizo does not have a second row, you're going to get 36 cubic feet instead of just this area behind here. But we can still fold these seats down in this model, and that makes for a nice flat floor. So this is great if you want to haul some different items. Just keep in mind, it's still not a very tall vehicle with this floor right here, but still good space overall. All right, so Toyota gives us a smart key right here. So what this means is, you just have lock and unlock right here, no power lift gate or anything, but you've got these lines that you can touch to lock it. Then you've got sensors in the back to unlock it. So you don't have to fiddle with your key or get your key out. You have a cloth seat. These are some little sporty seats right here. As you can see, you've got the GR branding on this. Even on this base model, cloth right here, you can move up and get a synthetic material depending on those two upper trims, but these bolsters are huge. Those other seats will even give you more stitching, kind of a nicer stitching look, but these look just fine to me. They got good bolstering to them. You've got height and recline adjustment moving forward. There's just no lumbar support, I believe, in any of these models. Steering wheel is manual tilt and telescoping as well, heated and leather wrapped. I like these seats. I like the bolstering. I fit well in here. I'm 5'9". These seats are also heated standard even on this base model. The only thing, I just wish we had a manual lever for lumbar support. This Corolla is small, and that will definitely show in the back seat, but one plus, I like that you get a cup holder on the door. So you don't have to fold the center console down. You don't have anything in front of you. You just got a cup holder right there. Now I'm 5'9", sitting behind myself. My feet are pretty snug right there. I've got a little bit of space for my knees, and I like to sit further forward with a manual. So I would typically sit further back and probably not have any knee room, but it'll work for most people. And for kids, you have a big hump in the middle, and if you're relying on air conditioning vents, you have to rely on the ones up front. Pretty standard for a vehicle this size, but keep this in mind. Then you do still get a center folding armrest right here, which does have cup holders as well as the ones on the door, so this is nice. And to my surprise, I can still sit up tall with a hat on without touching the ceiling. Many cars nowadays have such a slope in the back that I can't, even at 5'9". Now, one thing to keep in mind, this back seat is only on the bottom two trims. That top end Marizo trim, it doesn't have a back seat. It's just a two-seater up front. All right, let's take a look at the interior real quick, and it's gonna look very similar to the regular Corolla, of course, but there are a little bit of differences. First of all, let's go ahead and start it up. We do have a manual transmission standard push button start. There we go. And you've got a little GR branding on the steering wheel. Over on the door, this entire panel is hard plastic. You do have a cloth material for your armrest here, and then just a big grab handle. Pretty skinny bottle holder right there, and some extra storage. I wish this was a little bit bigger to get it away from the middle, since we have the manual transmission. You'll get some buttons down here like a heated steering wheel. You got de-icer for your windshield wipers as well, or heated section for your wipers, trip computer, automatic high beams, and then this button right here, we'll go through this in the test drive, but you can push this off or on, and this will give you the intelligent manual transmission, which gives you rev matching. Steering wheel is leather wrapped, and like you saw, it is heated. Controls on both sides. With this digital display in front of us, it's not quite as customizable as you might expect though. So using your steering wheel, you can go through a couple different things here. Let's hold this to look at a few different items right here. So you can see your driver assist stuff, mess with your settings, have just the speed. I like to have it right here because that box will show you what gear you're in. Then use your arrows and you can move whatever you want over on this side. And then on the other side, same thing. So you can have different pieces of information on here if you want to. And you can have it linked to go with different drive modes. So went to sport, you see the tack moves up there. So that's pretty cool. Then we get an 8-inch screen right here, definitely tablet style, lots of piano black around it, but you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto on here, which is nice. We also have a wireless charger. Go back to the Toyota main screen. This is just like the new Toyotas. You've got a good amount of stuff that you can customize. You've got shortcuts on the side, but unlike some of the other screens that had, buttons on the side for shortcuts or even a tuning knob, this only has a volume knob. I wish we still had maybe a tuning knob, but that's just me. One thing we have optional here is the JBL sound system. So it does sound nice. You've got a good amount of bass in this little car too, and that's going to be standard on the upper trims as well. We've got single zone climate for all of them right here. You can have it on automatic. You can control your fan speed over there. Then you've got a similar layout like you've seen in some other Toyota models. Down below there, you've got your heated seat buttons on each side and a wireless charger. Now that's literally all it is right there. It's just a slot to slide your phone. You don't want to store anything that could easily roll out. And then you've got a plug-in over there, USB-C, to plug in a phone. Now moving back, we've got a drive mode button right here. You've got normal, sport, and eco that we'll go through in the test drive, traction control, and then our 6-speed manual transmission right here. I love the way that this feels. You've got the ring to go into reverse, so it's very short. So let me get on that clutch, and the clutch feels good too. So you've got some nice small throws here. I like having the ring for reverse, something totally separate. It works well, nice, easy, short throws, sits in a good spot, and the cup holders are offset just enough to where they don't get in my way so much when I'm shifting, which is nice. One really cool feature right here, so this, you'll see GR4 on this Corolla. It is all-wheel drive, and you can change the torque between the four wheels. So at the bottom there, you'll see that it says GR4. That means it's 60% to the front, 40% to the back. This is street mode, what they say. You can go to 30 front, 70 back. Toyota says this is touring mode. And then you can hit the track button in the middle and it'll be 50-50. So you've got even torque split between the front and the rear wheels. Got our parking brake here. We got a couple of cup holders. They don't have any accommodation rings, but nothing has had problem fitting in there. You don't have a storage area back here, which is kind of annoying. I wish we still had something to drop some stuff in because it's all exposed. And then you got a USB charging port right there and a 12-volt power outlet. So the only complaint here is that the center console is very kind of impractical. Just no storage, no center console. That's just a phone slot, but oh well. This dash right here is huge. It's just this giant soft piece. Then underneath of that, you've got a glove box, decent size. Overhead, our visors, Toyota does not give you the sliding visor. You just get this little pull-out piece. And overhead, we do get LED lights, which is a nice touch. And the mirror is an it's a manual flipping mirror on this particular model. Now under the hood, this is where things are completely different than the regular Corolla. Instead of a 2-liter 4-cylinder, we have a 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbo. This turbo is very punchy. You've got 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. If you go for the top trim, you'll get 295 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a standard 6-speed manual transmission and the GR4 all-wheel drive system. I love that Toyota gave us all-wheel drive instead of just front-wheel drive like the Type R. I think in a little hot hatch like this, all-wheel drive goes a whole lot further. Even though you can have fun with front-wheel drive, still, it's nice having all 4 wheels having power, and the fact that you can shift the torque from the front to the back or a balance split by twisting the dial on the inside. And Toyota 0 to 60 is just under 5 seconds. Not bad at all for a Corolla. That is awesome. The other cool thing is you get a complimentary 1-year National Auto Sport Association membership, which includes 1 free high-performance driving experience. So you can actually take out your new car and go have fun with it legally. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this GR Corolla, and let me tell you, it is a blast to drive. Now I'm gonna start with the window down because when you're driving, you can actually hear a little blow off, just a little bit from that turbo, a little turbo noise. It makes it kind of fun when you're going just low speeds. We'll see if you can even hear it on the camera. When you let off the gas. There was one. One more. Did you hear that? It's pretty cool. I mean, it sounds awesome, especially, when you're just by yourself driving along, you can hear it, and it just adds to the character of this car. And I love that you can see the gear that you're in that section up front or on the main display. And so I don't drive a manual very often. I've never owned a manual, so I've literally only driven them just for fun or for this. And this is an easy manual for me to drive. Now there is an intelligent manual transmission button as well that will automatically rev match for you if you want to, kind of like the regular Corolla. But this car is so fun and so punchy. This turbo comes out through a really good range. I like this turbo because it doesn't just come out at like 2,000 RPMs. You actually have a good boost at like 4,000 RPM. You really get I think close to peak torque right around that time. It makes it a little bit more fun to have those RPMs up. But this Corolla just is so tossable. This handling is good. The way the steering feels is good. And we're just in normal street mode for our all-wheel drive, normal mode for the drive mode. We'll change that up in a little bit. We're in 5th gear right now, just cruising along. And if I even get on it just a little, you've got a very quick turbo. I mean, just that punch comes out right away. If you want to downshift, rev match, very smooth. So fun. It's literally, it feels like you're driving a little go-kart. It really does. And one thing that I've got to say, as you would probably expect, the ride comfort is stiff. That's part of it. It's going to be a sport tune suspension, a track tune suspension on that top Marizo model. So keep that in mind. It is fun, but it is stiff as well. On a day-to-day basis, if it's just me driving it, I don't really care. If I'm going to be hauling family around, I'd probably want something a little more comfortable, but it is what it is. Okay, I put us in sport mode. I even put the GR4 button in. Oh, they changed this road. Oh, this is my smooth road. They're making it not smooth. Oh no. In cars like this, smooth roads are crucial because of road noise. We got traffic coming, but you can even hear that blow off at high speeds like this with the window closed. Now going around this corner, let's throw it back into third. Wow. It sounds awesome. The exhaust on here is excellent. You can just hug corners. Now, this car makes you want to drive fast and makes you want to hug corners, and we're gonna get the rough road. Ooh, you can hear just how loud that is in this car. It is brutal. It's just, I wish that they had a little more suppression at the bottom to give you a little more enjoyability driving on a rocky type road like this. This is not gravel. This is the way that so many roads are right here. It's like a rock texture that they put down oil and then it just gets sunken down, but it is darn loud on this road. And you can't hear the car, you can't hear the RPMs, you can't hear anything. It kind of ruins the test drive a little bit. But one thing I want to complain about is the fact that we don't have an armrest. Sometimes I really wish we had an armrest. It's like Toyota thinks you're just going to be shifting constantly in here and you don't need one, but I wish that we could get one. That's just me. Otherwise, I like the display here, the display there. The fact that you have wireless charger is nice, but there's no armrest, center console, or a place to put my sunglasses. I just got them hanging out down there. But that's not what this is about. This is a driver's car, and Toyota absolutely nailed that aspect of it. It is a blast to drive. It's easy to drive, and it sounds nice. It's punchy. That turbo has great kick to it. And the red line is all the way up to 7,000, just over 7,000. It's crazy. For a little turbo, did not expect that. This is the Gazoo Racing GR part of Toyota. This is exactly how I envision it. So to recap, super fun to drive, easy manual transmission to drive, sounds great, handles great. Toyota nailed this little hot hatch. So to wrap things up on this GR Corolla, this one is the base model. You can get things a little bit different on the other ones, but this one still comes well equipped even for a base model. What do you think of it? I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it drives. The all-wheel drive is huge to me, and the fact that it's still got 300 horsepower even with this 3-cylinder engine and a manual transmission standard makes for a really fun package. Now it is spendy at $40,000 as is, but what do you think? Would you buy it for another hot hatch like this? Let me know down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of this GR Corolla. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.